Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Welcome to episode 195. Okay, fine. I'll pick you up. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Welcome to episode 195 of Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Welcome to the War Room. This is the actual room where we've done 195 episodes. Well, we took the show on the road a couple of times, but it all started back on March 14th of 2020 when we went live here in the War Room for what I think was a 17-minute show on my cell phone. And the show evolved from going every night live for 80 nights in a row to a weekly show where you can join me every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern here in my war room. And it's not just me. You also are joined by, back up so everybody can say hi, by my co-host Wednesday the Goth Pug, who is all sorts of riled up and is ready to go. She's been sitting in the war room complaining that I'm not giving her cookies for about the last 45 minutes or so. What's up, everybody? Jillian, Christina, Keith is here, Carol, Jen, Elsa joining us, Eric, Lisa, Brito's here, Marcy, Amanda. What's going on, everybody? Wednesday, everybody's saying hi. You want to say hi to everyone? Go ahead, say hi to everyone. For anybody that's new to the War Room, Wednesday has been joining me and been kind of my best pal, and the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, the peanut butter to my jelly, since this all started. And she really likes cookies, as you can tell. By the way, that's where you can find her on Instagram at Wednesday the Goth Pug. And she comes in here, she hangs out with us, she begs for cookies, then she usually leaves, and then she comes back when it's time for mail call, just in case she gets something in the mail. So, what's up, Donna? Donna says, hey, War Room family, happy Tuesday. Let's see. Travis says he's doing okay. Will says getting ready for another heat wave. I know. I don't know if what's left of my grass can handle another heat wave. Kim says, what's up, everyone? Hey, Carrie. Hey, Wednesday. Eric says, question, if you had one more year of teaching left and the school district paid you $50,000, would you take it if you were over 60? Let me tell you what, Eric, I have learned a lot since I started taking care of my mom. And what I have learned is that unless you are independently wealthy, unless you have millions of dollars in the bank and a real estate portfolio and a personal stockbroker, none of us have enough money to retire. That's what I've learned. And so it has totally kind of changed how I'm looking at preparing for old age financially, because I look at how my mom contributed to Social Security and how she was with her money. And let me just give you some financial kind of figures so that you can have an idea of what things cost when it comes to post-retirement, maybe not being able to live on your own anymore. Nursing homes, which are bare bones, shared rooms, communal bathrooms, food, medicine, 24-hour care, that kind of stuff, is somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Assisted living, which is kind of your own little apartment with amenities and a little bit more freedom of lifestyle, but in a community where as you age, you are safe. Assisted living is somewhere around $8,500 to $10,000 a month. So my point in telling you that is, as my sister and I have been looking into different facilities and different options for mom, what we're realizing is if you can make more money before retirement and invest that money somehow to get yourself more ready, if you don't have life insurance, if I know that they have long-term care insurance, although I've heard the policies are fairly expensive, none of us are ready. And who knows in another 20 years what Social Security is going to look like too. So if you had another chance to take another 50 grand and put it in the bank or invest it, make those repairs to your house so you can live in your house and not have massive emergencies, like whatever it is, I say do it. But if you're going to continue to work and really sacrifice freedom of life, you should promise yourself that when you do get vacation time, that you're going to do something special with it. Because on the other side of the coin, none of us are getting out of here alive. And you want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to enjoy your life as well. There are a lot of life lessons that I have learned through the process of taking care of my mom and learning what these things cost. You know, the average funeral now is like $8,000 to $10,000, and that's kind of bare bones. So none of us are ready for anything. So take the money and run. But if you guys disagree, feel free to chime in on the comments. Amanda says, you're realizing it is a money-hungry industry to take care of our parents. There will be no Social Security for us. It is already spent. And that's the thing. Like, on one hand, this kind of care is expensive, right? Nursing home care, all of that stuff. But then I did the math, right? So say it's $5,000 a month, and that's 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's medication, that's food, that's 24-hour medical care. When you divide the $5,000 a month by, say, 30 days in a month, it averages out to staying at the Hampton Inn, which, to have someone taking care of a parent or a grandparent, supervising them 24 hours a day, making sure that they're clean, making sure that they're fed, dressed, medications, visitation, programs, while it is incredibly expensive, when you also, and this is something my sister and I are doing, is that as we're looking at places, we're doing the math and we're checking the amenities and we're checking the facilities and we're trying to figure out, like, if you're going to sell or buy a house, you figure out the cost per square foot. It's the same kind of deal. And so, yes, is it incredibly expensive? But when you do the math, it's not as expensive as you would think it would be, considering, like, if you were going to stay in a hotel with all 3 meals a day covered and the cost of whatever maintenance drugs and prescriptions you're on and like, it's expensive. But so that's my advice. Invest the money, be really careful with your money, but also when you decide to enjoy yourself, when you decide to take a vacation, I am not a fan of staycations anymore. I think if you're going to be on vacation, you need to get away, because if you're home, you're just fixing the house and you're not really getting away. You're still checking your email. Like, go away, go enjoy your life. Will says, or you move back in with your dad so that he doesn't have to go into a home. Listen, 100%. But, you know, my mom has lived with me for 10 years, and it can get to the point where, unless you quit your job and dedicate yourself 24 hours a day to the care of that loved one, which, if you can do it, good on you. Myself, I didn't win Mega Millions, which I was really hoping that I was going to. It's really hard to supervise someone. It depends on the parent and it depends on what's wrong with them. If it's more of a physical ailment than it is a mental ailment, then can you still leave them alone? Sometimes, like, everybody's situation is different. And that's also something that I've learned. So take the money and run. Brito says, but Carrie, at some level, we as children of our parents, shouldn't we return the favor for all they did to us? Brito, 100%, 100%. And for me, being the primary caretaker of my mom for the last 2.5 years, these are things that go through my mind all of the time. You know, this is the person that wiped my ass when I was a baby. This is the person that taught me how to use a spoon. But sometimes the care that is required is more than what you're capable of. Unfortunately for my sister and I right now, we're getting to that point with mom where we're getting to the point where we are not going to be capable of providing the level of care that is required. An in-home caretaker, just someone that comes into the house to keep them mentally occupied, to take them out and physically exercise, to make sure that their room is clean, that someone to cook meals for them. That's $25 an hour bare bones. That's not even a medical professional. That's just someone that comes in to be like an aide. And so if you need that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that adds up really fast. So it's no worries, Mr. Fitz. You can jump in late. No worries, Monica. You can be late. I was a few minutes late too. So it's one of those things where, you have to, Wednesday, you don't want to be on the camera anymore, where you have to determine what's best for your family. There are people that have a house full of little kids that can't move someone into their home. There are people that, because of their jobs, can't work from home or can't get the time off. Or if you're an only child, I don't know how I would have gotten through what I've been going through with my mom if I were an only child. Having my sister go through this with me and to be able to share in the responsibilities has been huge, both mentally, physically, all of that. But I'm also really lucky that both of us can work remote, because if we couldn't work remote, it would be a lot different. Let's see. The point comes one way or another unless they pass in the meantime. I did it with both my mom and my dad and my wife's mom for 10 years. It's really hard. And it's also if you are able to maintain safety for them. If you have someone that is dealing with dementia or a brain injury or Alzheimer's or anything like that, even 24-hour supervision can be difficult. I can tell you that things have gotten incredibly difficult with mom. And we have to weigh out what is safe. What is safe for mom? What is safe for me? What's safe for the house? What's safe for the dog? It's kind of hard to restrict mom's access to Wednesday, but I can't even count the number of times I've caught her feeding the dog things that are unhealthy for her. And so everyone's situation is different, and some people just aren't capable of providing that care. The people that are, good on you. It's mentally, physically, emotional, exhausting, taxing. Walter passed around the hat. Exactly. What's going on, Rachel? Not easy for you, but it's good that you can work somewhat remotely, at least for now. Exactly. What's up, Scott? Mr. McKay. Grew up watching my parents take care of their parents later in life, and it definitely shaped my plans. Yeah, I think it's something that if you experience it as an adult, and for me, taking care of my mom, it is definitely shaping how I am going into my later years. The things that I want, the things that I don't want, the precautions that I am taking. Keith says, I lost my dad 39 years ago. He didn't die. He went out for smokes and scratch tickets, but I think he got lost on the way home. Wow. They literally forget to swallow. Alzheimer's. Yeah, Mark, exactly. They forget how to swallow. Alzheimer's is fucking horrible. And that's the thing. It's like with a disease like Alzheimer's and dementia, it's not just having someone in the house because their legs don't work as well as they used to. It's a whole other level of responsibility. FMLA has helped my family with the ability to take care of loved ones with some help. It isn't enough. I completely agree with everything that you're saying. How did the meeting at the Pike go? Brian wants to know. So not to change the subject, but I don't want every week here in the War Room to just be talking about death and elder care. And it's how I live my life 24 hours a day right now, and it gets really heavy. Had a chance to go in and see everybody at the Pike yesterday, had a meeting about everything from ratings to promotions, sat down with all the bosses, got to hang out with Mike Shue yesterday, had to record with some advertisers yesterday. Meeting went great. There is some contests and promotions coming on the Pike that are pretty awesome. There's also some pretty awesome podcast episodes coming. So yesterday was a really good day. It was nice to go in and see everybody. It still feels weird to work at a radio station and be on the air at a radio station and still not know your way around. Like trying to find the bathroom, trying to find where the vending machines are. It's very, very strange. And I can tell you that they are in the middle of a complete redesign and brand new construction of a brand new Pike FM on-air studio. New equipment, new layout. And so I was looking at the plans yesterday. They're hoping to have everything done, I think, by fall or before the holidays, which is going to be amazing. Getting all the new logos up there. They got a new vehicle that they're doing a contest to name the vehicle. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting, all of the stuff that's happening right now. And I'm sorry. Can you hear Wednesday chomping? She's gnawing on this bone next to me, and I just hear this. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but what are you doing? One of the things that you guys have been asking, not only the Backstage Pass holders, but also here in the War Room, is how everything's been affecting Wednesday. And I can tell you that there were a few days, with mom not here. Mom is in the hospital. I think I told you guys that last week. Mom not being here definitely has affected Wednesday. Come here. Come over here. Here. Come here. And there were definitely a few days where Wednesday was super sad and continuing to go in and kind of check to see if Grammy was back yet. I can tell you that because my mom hasn't been here and because my mom has been in the hospital, obviously my mom's caretakers haven't been in and out of the house. My sister hasn't needed to be at the house as often. So there has not been as much hustle and bustle in the house. And Wednesday has been following me around the house and has kind of been like by my side constantly. And look at her right now, like her paw holding my hand down, gnawing on bones. Like she spends so much more time with me because there hasn't been anyone else. So I don't know if it's that she's just rediscovering her love of mom or that no one else is here. So she's just going to settle for me. So yeah. Someone asked advice going to Long Island. I have not really spent any time in Long Island, so not sure. Christina said, heard you talking about ticket sales today. Holy crap. So Polestar came out with an analysis of the last 40 years, and they made two lists. They made the list of artists that have made the most money from ticket sales, and then the artists that have sold the most tickets, because they're not the same thing. You could play fewer shows with a higher ticket price and make more money. And they totaled it up only of headlining shows. So it didn't count if the band was on tour opening for another artist, and the festival shows didn't count either. What they determined was that the Rolling Stones have made the most money in ticket sales of any artist. And it's almost $2.25 billion that they've made off of ticket sales, which is just insane. Wednesday can sense you need the support. Exactly. She's trying to keep you calm and can feel your sadness 100%. Especially, I know all dogs are like that, but I've had pugs for so many years now, and they are so intuitive. They know when you don't feel good. They come and lay with you. She really knows, and she's been spending a lot more quality time with me. Wednesday, take care of mom, Eric. She totally does care. Let's see. The heat wave. Donna says, I heard it called humidititties, and that's what I'm calling it now. The swoob level. Swoob level tomorrow, the next couple of days, it's going to be like a 9.8 on a 10 scale. Hey, Wednesday, are you still eating the green beans in your mom's? She has not been allowed in the garden until the peas and the green beans are gone. Something did get into my garden and ate a lot of the leaves off on my green bean plants, and I don't think I'm going to get the green bean crop that I have been getting in the past. I also think that the heat wave, even though I got a new irrigation system, there are some things. The tomatoes are starting to come in, but I'm not getting the bumper crop that I used to get. The lettuce didn't get as big as it usually does. My celery is going great. The cucumbers are doing okay. I'm having a lot of luck with the herbs once again, but I got a lot of flowers with the zucchini and the summer squash. But everything has either been really slow or has died because of the heat. So the garden is kind of hit and miss again this year. Ralph says only 5 bands were higher than Metallica. Jen, I just kind of gave you the update on the garden. It's touch and go. It'll be like Satan farted on Thursday. Exactly. Like a sauna. Yes. Dogs and cats have a thing when their owner is sick or passing of a family member. Sean, I totally agree. They totally do. My hot peppers and herbs are great. Everything else is meh. I totally hear you. I've been waiting I planted purple, like bell peppers, and they have been very slow to come in. And I've been really looking forward to them growing because I've grown purple basil. I've grown purple tomatoes. I've grown purple beans, but I have not grown purple peppers yet. So I was kind of looking forward to those. Mickey says our best wishes to you and your mom and the family, sending you hugs. I appreciate that, as does my family. I have to work in Boston tomorrow. Not looking forward to the heat, says Trina. Exactly. Did you have a thunderstorm? Literally, we had about a minute's worth of a thunderstorm today. Came through and then whipped right by, and then the sun came back out. And within like 3 minutes, the pavement was dry and it didn't even look like it rained. So, do I like purple? Ask the guy that painted my motorcycle. You think? Something about dogs that are legendary. Not all will sing to you, but if you feel something, if you feel down, they will definitely be right there for you. Yeah, exactly. She has been, she's been amazing, and she's been spending a lot of quality time with me. Not happy when I go to work in MCHQ because she's not allowed in there, as we know, because she likes to eat the soundproof insulation in the studio. But she definitely has been very attentive and intuitive of everything that's been going on with the family. Same on the thunderstorm down south of you, came and went, says Amanda. A peek of the purple peppers 5 times. Say that, yeah, pick a peck of purple peppers. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, exactly. Try being in a bus with no AC, says Lisa. No. Nope. No. Heat sucks, absolutely. It is really weird. Today was kind of the first day that I noticed how dark it's getting, that it's definitely earlier than it's been. And that kind of bums me out. That and the fact that there's already Halloween candy in the stores, which is kind of weird too. So we can definitely tell that the seasons are changing once again. I also opted today for the Cheez-It insulated cup with a little bit of coffee liqueur and a little chocolate liqueur in my coffee, because it's been one of those days. And let me tell you what, this thing, my Cheez-It glass, keeps stuff cold for hours. It's unbelievable. So I'm having a little coffee cocktail today. Speaking of that, we got to do a cocktail recipe. Hold on. Because I did not forget. Now, one thing that I have not been able to do yet is be able to cross-reference the drinks we've already done and go in and check them off here in the book, because I have not had the time to go through all of Melissa's handiwork and to be able to go through and actually get rid of all of the drinks that we did and talked about already, so that we're not repetitive. But I haven't been able to do that yet. So, hold on. All right. Speaking of chocolate and coffee, I thought this, I don't believe we've done this one yet. I am a big fan of like the espresso martini. I'm not a fan of regular martinis because I'm not a huge fan of olives. I love olive oil, but I'm like the only Sicilian that you know that just doesn't really enjoy just like eating olives. It's never been my thing. I don't know why, but because of that, I don't really love regular martinis. But I love things like espresso martinis, chocolate martinis, apple teenies, like all of that kind of stuff. All those drinks that have had their moment. So I thought the idea of a chocolate mint martini, it's basically like an Andes candy. And this drink does not say to garnish with that. But what I thought would be really yummy is that if you were going to make this drink at a party or something, that you could either float an Andes candy on the top, or if you wanted to get fancy as fuck, you could get like the fine part of a cheese grater and like grate fine shreds of like an Andes candy on top, or Girl Scout cookie. Either way, however you want to do it is fine. But the chocolate mint martini, 2 ounces of vodka, an ounce of the creme de cacao, however you want to say it, and a dash of white creme de mint. And that is the recipe for the chocolate mint martini. It says pour the ingredients into a mixing glass with ice and stir, strain into a martini glass and serve. I was very disappointed with the lack of a garnish. So, yeah, the EVOO. I'll drink olive oil. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely love olive oil. Not really loving the just the olives in general. But if you were going to make this chocolate mint martini, I feel like it needs a garnish. And because of the garden, the other thing that you could do is actually put some fresh mint in there, like break up the mint leaves and put it in the martini shaker and then strain it out so you got some really good mint. Or you could garnish it with a mint leaf and a Girl Scout cookie and an Andes candy if you want it. Or maybe a little cocoa powder on the top. Like, this is a bartender's book. The drink recipe is good. I was a little disappointed with the lack of a garnish. So, cacao, cachou, cocoa, cachou. Joe, thank you for the Beatles reference. I always appreciate that. I would eat all the Andes candies before I would ever get into the kitchen to get that grater. So I don't know where else to get them. But I went to Bed Bath & Beyond once. And you know how they have all that candy and the snacks like right at the register because they're evil and they know you're waiting in line and you're hungry. I once found an Andes candy bar that was like bigger than a Kit Kat. Just like one piece of the, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. It was one Andes candy. And so the texture of it was different because it was thicker. I've never seen them since. They come individually wrapped. But, oh my God, it was delicious. And the only place I ever saw it, here go the pillows. Here they go. One just went. Wednesday, do you have to knock the pillows off? Seriously? Do you? Would you like another cookie? Do you want to come over here and sit? Sit down. Good girl. Can I have your paw? Can I have the other one? Can I have a high five? Thank you. Thank you. Back up. Sit nicely. Good girl. Stop, Joe says. Christmas time, you can find them. Yeah, like Andes candies are some of my absolute favorite. See, and Elsa says, I hate Andes candies. Some people don't like the combination of mint and chocolate. I am addicted to it. I absolutely love it. Wednesday, you are very sweet. Now they have mint Kit Kat duos. You could garnish with those, says Rachel. Exactly. Good girl. It's my job, Ma. So yeah, I think as we, there you go. That's all the cookies you get, though. That's it. There's no more. There's no more. They're all gone. I think we need to get more into the creative garnishing of the cocktails here in the War Room. I did start going back through the book that I got last week in mail call and like looking at some of the drinks we already did. I just haven't been able to go through this book and cross them all out. But I think drinks need more garnishes. Like, I don't think that Bloody Marys should be the only drinks that come with like a buffet. Like, I think more of these drinks, as we do the drink recipes here in the War Room, I think we need to get creative with the garnishes. So that is going to be part of your job every week here in the War Room, is coming up with garnishes for the cocktails. Is zero over? Yes, but zero right now is spread out in the prone position in front of an air conditioning grate on the tile floor right now in the other room. She can't get cold enough. Honey, there's no more cookies. I gave them all away. You got all of them. They're all gone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here, you want your lammy pie? You want this? Want this? All right. I like that the cocktail recipes are back. Kathy, me too. Me too. Julia says, I'm aging myself, but do you remember Fanny Farmer had the same things as Andy's Candies? They were my fave. I do remember Fanny Farmer. Absolutely. Does she like peanut butter banana treats? Yes, Donna, she loves them. She does not necessarily love just pieces of like banana. However, if I freeze them or put them in the fridge so they're really, really cold, she likes that better than just like mushy banana. But all things peanut butter, 100%. Like those shakes at Sugar at Foxwoods. I haven't had that. Oh, that sounds delicious. Pepperidge Farms mint Milano cookies for the martini. See, this is why we need to brainstorm garnishes for the cocktails, because I would not have thought of the Pepperidge Farm mint Milanos, and that's oh my God, can you imagine if you went and ordered a mint chocolate martini at a bar and it came with a mint Milano on the side, floating on top? I would probably kiss the bartender. I love mint and chocolate, but hate raspberries and chocolate. What? No, everything with chocolate. I'm trying to think of something with chocolate that I wouldn't like. All of the chocolate all the time. You need to start the MC cocktail book. You know what? Like that, it would be the only way to like do the MC cocktail book, like the cocktails in the War Room cocktail book, because it would have to feature like extravagant garnishes, I think. Snacks. When you're drinking, you need snacks. A bag of dicks. My Long Island Ducks are 14 and 45. I'm looking at celebrating. When do we do that with peanut butter cookies? 44 and 45. Sorry, not 14 and 45. Sugar overload. I can just drink the diabetes. Orange and chocolate is not great. It depends. Some of those mystery chocolates, you got to stick your thumb in the bottom when you get like a variety box or whatever. Sometimes they're not great. Potato chips covered in chocolate. Oh, so good. Wait, what? I don't care for bacon and chocolate, but I love bacon and chocolate separately. Some of that chocolate and bacon is good, but it is a weird combination. It is kind of strange. Peanut butter and bacon, kind of delicious though. What about mint chocolate ice cream? 100%, Jane. Like, there are very few ice cream flavors that I am not like painfully addicted to. I love ice cream so much. It's a problem. Today's actually National Ice Cream Sunday. Ice cream sandwich day, by the way. A mint chocolate ice cream sandwich garnish for the martini. Goat. It'd be amazing. Blasphemy, says Keith. Chocolate and strawberries. Oh my God. Are you kidding? How could you not like that? So that's the drink recipe for the night. All right, let's talk about the podcast, shall we? Because we got a lot to talk about. Episode 112 of the podcast last week featured Brandon Yeagley from Crowbot, who is a band I really think you guys are going to like if you haven't checked them out yet. If you haven't listened to last week's episode yet, they are a band from rural Pennsylvania. He personally described the band, if you were going to like generally describe the band, he said like some Led Zeppelin vibe and some Soundgarden vibe and like kind of squished together. I love this band. I was so excited when Brandon said that he would come on the podcast because I've loved this band since we were playing them on AAF back in the day. And I really do think that it's bands like this that are ushering in a new era of rock and roll, which I'm all about it. Chocolate and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise on anything is terrible. I don't care. I don't even eat potato salad because it's made with mayonnaise. I won't put mayonnaise on a sandwich. I don't even eat mayonnaise on a BLT. I do not like mayonnaise. It's disgusting. And Miracle Whip falls in that category as well. Just finished eating a bowl of Hood golden vanilla ice cream with strawberry sauce and Cool Whip. Thanks a lot, Rodney, because now I'm freaking starving. I tried that at Six Flags. It was amazing. Eric says, yes, at Shaw's and BJ's. Wait, what are you guys talking about? Blackberry ice cream, delicious. I make homemade ice cream. I made some tonight with Reese's Pieces and chocolate and peanut butter sauce. Oh. By the way, I also really enjoy ice cream that has stuff in it. Like the Ben & Jerry's ice cream that has like the core of like caramel sauce, like fish food. I'm that person that like when I go to get a sundae, my sundae is a goddamn mess because I want to put I want marshmallow, but I want caramel and I want butterscotch and I want hot fudge and I want the jimmies and the walnuts and the whipped cream and I want the pineapple and I want the strawberries. Like I can't decide all the stuff because I love all of the stuff that goes on the ice cream. Mustard on a BLT. For me, BLT, toasted bread, lettuce, tomato, obviously, bacon, obviously. I like raw onions. I like pickles on my BLT, and I like cheese. And so what I found is if you toast the bread and then you melt the cheese, I was a fan of the McDLT. You guys remember the McDLTs? Completely environmentally irresponsible with the big styrofoam. But I like the hot cheeseburger with the cold lettuce and tomato, onions and pickles on the other side. So if you're going to make a BLT, I like to toast the bread. Then I put the cheese on the bread and I toast it a little more so the cheese gets melty. Then I put the bacon, lettuce, tomato, onions, and pickles on that. So the cheese melted kind of takes the place of the mayonnaise. If you haven't tried that, it's delicious. Pineapple on ice cream, 100%. Pineapple and hot fudge on a sundae. Oh my God. Walter, get the diabetes. I told you I have a problem, guys. You guys know about my sweet tooth. And by the way, I get it from my mother. My mom can eat an entire box of ice cream sandwiches in a sitting, and it's not something new. She's been able to do that for years. Elvis ice cream. Chunky Monkey, Ben & Jerry's, 100%. Delicious fish food. Add avocado to that. Yes, avocado on a BLT, absolutely delicious. Or you can use guacamole on it in place of the mayonnaise. It gives it a little something. Let's see. People in Florida say sprinkles. I say Jimmy's, and they make fun of me and say it's sprinkles. No, Michelle, this is what you tell them. The sprinkles are the rainbow ones. The Jimmy's are the chocolate ones. That is the difference. Fuck you, people in Florida. You're wrong. Sprinkles are the rainbow ones, says Julie. See? You guys know. Jason Alexander was in the McDLT commercial on TV. Yeah, it was my favorite sandwich at McDonald's because I want the cold vegetables. I don't want, like when I go get a sub, and they put the lettuce into, and then they're like, do you want it toasted? And I'm like, no, if I wanted it toasted, I'd have you toast it before you put the lettuce and tomato. There's nothing worse than hot lettuce and tomato on a sandwich. Oh, terrible. Tuna fish and strawberries. Okay, first of all, no. Tuna fish has mayonnaise in it. Like when you make tuna fish sandwiches, no. It will always be Jimmy, says Christina, 100%. So back on track to the podcast. Episode 112 featuring Brandon Yeagley from Crowbot. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely go and check it out and check out the corresponding playlist for this episode. It's really good. And if you have not given the band a chance yet, definitely go and listen to Crowbot. I think you guys are really going to like them as a band. Episode 113 of the Mistress Carrie podcast goes live at midnight tonight. And it's really hard to believe, but it was literally 2 years to the week that these guys were on the first time. Saint Asonia, which both interviews, Mike Mushak from Stained and Adam Gontier, formerly of 3 Days Grace, they were on episode 8 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, which got released on July 29th of 2020. So it's literally 2 years later, they're back on the podcast. They, Wednesday, they have a new 7-song EP called Introvert that's available now. And so they came back on the show to kind of give me an update on how things are going with the band now that they wrote, record, and release new music since the last time I had talked to them. They had also played a bunch of shows. You guys are going to learn some stuff about Mike Mushak from Stained and Saint Asonia in this episode. Mike has got a skill that I don't know anyone else that has a skill like Mike's. And I've never met anyone that is as proficient in that skill as he is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until you listen to the episode. You found out in episode 8 that he's an engineer, like he's a math whiz, because we were talking about him helping, that his mom was a teacher, math teacher, which is part of the reason why he's so good at math. And he talked about helping the kids with their homework during COVID. That's one of the things we talked about a couple years ago. Mike's brain, because you guys have heard me in different episodes of the podcast talk about music ability, language ability, math ability being in the same centralized part of the brain. Mike's brain works in a way that I'm fascinated with now. Like I want to like put him in an MRI machine and do an interview for the podcast and scan his brain, because he shocked me with what he is able to do that I am still blown away by. But you guys have to listen to this week's episode to find out what it is. So episode 113 of the Mistress Carrie podcast goes live at midnight tonight, and it features Mike Mushak and Adam Gontier from Stained. Mike Mushak from Stained, Adam Gontier, two of them making up Saint Asonia. And it's episode 113, part of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Obviously, you can get the podcast everywhere. And if you subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast, not only do you get the full-length episodes, but you also get the sit rep every Monday through Friday. It's rock news, it's music headlines, it's entertainment updates, it's industry info. It's a little bit of everything. So subscribe to the podcast wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. And not only will you get the full-length episodes, the bonus episodes, but you're also going to get the sit rep. And if you don't listen to podcasts anywhere, you can also always listen to every episode at mistresscarrie.com. But these are just some of the places that you can get all of the episodes as well. So, who wants pickled rhubarb, says Tracy. See, strawberry rhubarb pie, another flavor combination I don't understand. My sister loves it. Walter, get the sundae. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So here's all the places you can listen to the podcast. A little bit of an update on the podcast locations. the podcast has been growing exponentially over the last, say, 90 days. Definitely since we changed podcast hosting platforms. And once again, the top 5 countries have not changed. And because Adam Gontier is on this week's episode again, I am expecting more people in Canada listening to this week's episode because he is from Canada. So the United States, number 1, Canada, number 2, the UK, number 3, Russia, still number 4, Singapore, number 5, 130 countries still. But I'm definitely seeing the overseas listening grow. So I would expect probably in the next month or so that we're going to be able to change that total of the number of countries that are listening to the podcast to change as well. All right, I got another ticket giveaway for you guys. Wednesday, hey. I've been really trying hard to be able to give you guys access to concert tickets here in the War Room. And so I Prevail. They are going to be at the new MGM Music Hall at Fenway with Pierce the Veil and Fit for a King. And that show is happening November 19th. The tickets are on sale right now. But if this is a show you're interested in, click the Message the Studio button at mistresscarrie.com. Put I Prevail in the subject line. Make sure I get your full name and your email address. And this is going to go on a first come, first served ticket basis. So if you really want these tickets, make sure that you get this in sooner than later. And I will do my very best to give as many tickets away as I can. So another ticket giveaway here in the War Room. So see, I Prevail, Pierce the Veil, Fit for a King, MGM Music Hall in Boston, right behind Fenway, November 19th. The grand opening for this is in a couple of weeks, by the way. And I'm going to go and check out the venue before it opens. They're going to give us a chance to kind of go in and look around and kind of be able to see all of the different sight lines and all the facilities and stuff, I'll be able to give you a full report on that. But if you want these tickets, click the Message the Studio button at mistresscarrie.com. Put I Prevail in the subject line. Knocking it out of the park, says Julia. What is she barking at? Who knows? It could be anything. Let's see. Busy and running late, always playing catch up. Good evening. What's up, Betty? Let's see. Mr. C. It's not Mr. C. I wish it were Mr. C, but it is not Mr. C. Let's see. Tickets to my No Pants party, says Keith. Yes, I need to be there, says Shannon. Tim wants to know how his mom. We kind of already went over that, Tim. She's in the hospital right now, so I will let you guys know when I have more news on that. So, all right, let's talk about some music headlines. We got a lot to go over. The Trinity of Terror Tour announced that they are coming back to the area. They announced another leg of their North American tour. The Trinity of Terror is Ice Nine Kills, Motionless in White, and Black Veil Brides. The leg of the tour that is going to be in our area is also going to feature Atreyu. That tour is headed to the Tsongas Center at UMass Lowell, and that show is November 17th. The tickets for this show go on sale on Friday. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss are going to be in town on September 9th at the Leader Bank Pavilion, September 10th at Foxwoods. The Stevie Nicks tour got announced. She's going to be at the Xfinity Center coming up on September 19th. The new Red Hot Chili Peppers album is going to be out on October 14th. It's called Return of the Dream Canteen. And if you want to win tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Fenway, they're going to be there on September 10th. We have them all week long, giving them away on the Pike. So you got to be listening for the text keywords because all this week we are giving away tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And you don't have to live in the area because even if you can't hear the station, you can listen at pikefm.com and you can also download the free Pike FM app. Shinedown, Jelly Roll, and John Harvey are going to be at the Xfinity Center coming up September 13th. Weird Al and Emo Phillips are going to be at Indian Ranch this weekend. All of these shows, anytime I talk about shows, They're all up on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. And there are always links to buy the tickets, all the details, when they go on sale, all of that stuff. Alice in Chains, Breaking Benjamin, and Bush are going to be at the Xfinity Center October 8th. In This Moment, Nothing More, the Cherry Bombs, Sleep Token at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on September 17th. Like I said, I'm going to get a chance in the next few weeks to go get a sneak peek of that venue. Super excited about it, so I will give you guys all the details, and I'll take a bunch of pictures as well. Aaron Lewis, speaking of Stained with Mike Mushak on the episode this week, we actually were referencing the Stained show out in Springfield and how with a local show, how big the guest list gets. Aaron Lewis at Indian Ranch coming up September 3rd. That's his solo band, by the way, with his band, the Stateliners. Stained at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield on September 11th. Joe Satriani is going to be at the Orpheum November 5th. Five Finger Death Punch, whose new album is just a couple weeks away, by the way. Megadeth, The Who, and Fire from the Gods are going to be at the Xfinity Center on September 18th. Megadeth announced that not only is Ice-T making a cameo appearance on their upcoming new album, but also Sammy Hagar making a guest appearance on that Megadeth album. AWOL Nation is going to be at the House of Blues on October 23rd. And Slipknot, The End So Far. The new Slipknot album has been announced, and it is going to be released on September 30th. A lot of great new music is coming out, if it's not out already. Extreme at Indian Ranch coming up on September 2nd, September 3rd at the Hampton Beach Casino. Then they're going to open up for Aerosmith on September 8th. And then we were just talking about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's September 10th at Fenway. Plus Judas Priest with Queensryche at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway coming up on October 16th. All of these tickets are on sale now, by the way. The stadium tour rolls into Fenway this weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Poison, which, by the way, Bret Michaels said that after this Poison tour, Poison might not tour again until 2025 because Bret Michaels is already working on his next solo tour and stuff. And so Poison might not go out on the road for a while. So the stadium tour is going to be in Boston at Fenway this weekend. Collective Soul is going to be at Indian Ranch with Switchfoot this weekend. Ghost, Mastodon, and Spirit Box are going to be at the Dunkin' Donuts Center coming up September 12th. The Tattoo the Earth Festival is August 27th at the Palladium with Anthrax, Black Label Society, Hatebreed, At the Gates, Municipal Waste, and so many bands. That's also the same night as Godsmack at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway. That is also August 27th as well. Lamb of God, Killswitch Engage at the MGM Music Hall September 21st. Evanescence and Korn are getting ready at the end of the month to be at the Xfinity Center. That's August 26th. And Rise Against and The Used are going to be at the new club in Brighton on Guest Street, ironically enough, right down the street from where AAF used to be, at the club Roadrunner. That's coming up next week on August 12th. Let's see. New releases this week. New music always comes out on Fridays, and it doesn't necessarily have to be brand new albums. It can also be reissues. Bullet for My Valentine's deluxe edition of their album, Bullet for My Valentine, comes out on Friday. I brought up the Insane Clown Posse because notice the name of their new EP. Pugs Are Not Ugly, but their EP is literally called Pug Ugly, and it comes out on Friday. And also the vinyl box set for Tool's Fear Inoculum comes out this Friday as well. Wow, Carrie, how do you keep up with all of these bands? Sean, it's my job. I can't remember sometimes like to take out my own trash, like for the trash guys, but I can rattle off concert dates and album release dates and album titles and new single titles like it's nothing. I've just always been that way. And plus, between all the radio shows and constantly updating the website and putting together all the graphics for the War Room, like this is just stuff that just gets beaten into my brain. So this weekend, I'm going to miss it. Oh, Shannon's going to miss the stadium tour. I'm sorry. Beth says, headed into Boston on Saturday. Yes. Cannot wait for Evanescence and Korn, says Rachel. By the way, because I didn't have a chance to talk to you guys, Went and saw Rob Zombie and Mudvayne and Powerman 5000 and Static X at the Xfinity Center over the weekend. The show was fucking great. Mudvayne, wow. Chad Gray, Ace bandaged like his whole rib cage after falling off the stage a few days before they got to the Xfinity Center. Ironically, while he was singing the song Not Falling, Mudvayne sounded amazing. They have not missed a beat. Rob Zombie was obviously fantastic. Spider One from Powerman 5000, who's Rob Zombie's younger brother, came out and they did a duet of Helter Skelter during Rob Zombie's set, which was fantastic. And Static X was amazing. Zero, who has taken the place of Static X, does Wayne Static justice as the singer of Static X. He's really, really good. And there's more Static X music coming out with old Wayne Static vocal tracks on it. They've already released some. They're getting ready to release some more. So pretty excited about that. I was always a fan of Static X. I love the kind of like goth, like disco, like dance thing, which is kind of what Static X is. Sorry, that's when I think of it, this is what I do with my hands. It's the same kind of thing with Powerman 5000, same kind of thing with Rob Zombie music, the stuff that makes you want to bounce up and down. Huge fan of that stuff. And so hearing those Static X songs again makes me happy. Static X, amazing. Bled for days. Yeah, like, love it. Ash says Mudvayne was awesome. It was an amazing show all the way around. Tracy says, wish I could get a job like mine, Tracy. You guys know how hard it is for me to keep these jobs. You've been with me since I got laid off and even before. Evil Disco, exactly. I am a huge fan of the Evil Disco. Oh, you guys talking about Nichelle Williams? Yeah. To lose Ahura and Bill Russell in the same day. Two legends. Even Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers put up a Instagram tribute to Bill Russell, even though he's such a huge Lakers fan, because there's just no denying it. He was the GOAT. Static X, great albums. Regeneration Volume 2, exactly, Eric. Just hearing Wayne Static back on some new music is pretty badass. So those are the new releases. Don't forget about, now that the Hair Fest is over, 100 FM The Pike, presenting Rockfest. That's coming up September 10th at Indian Ranch. And just another full day of amazing tribute bands. You can get more details on that on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Let's see. Mail call. Nothing came in the mail call this week, guys, but there was so much in the mail call last week that, and by the way, those mocha Oreos. Oh my God. See, now one of those mocha Oreos as a garnish in an espresso martini. Now we're talking. I'm telling you guys, this garnish thing is going to go someplace. Delicious. And she was the voice of Ursula too. That's right. You know what? I always forget that. The voice of Ursula in The Little Mermaid. Yes, exactly. Let's see. Tesla was awesome. I did not get a chance to see Tesla on Sunday at Indian Ranch, but all reviews of the show were that they were absolutely fantastic. The mocha Oreos are evil, says Rachel, 100%. Carrie, my cousin Kathy, got a pic with you at the Zombie concert. Nice. I did get to see a lot of people. And I'll tell you guys, it is shocking to me how many people I am bumping into at concerts that don't know about the podcast, that don't know I'm on the air at the Pike. They don't know about Cocktails in the War Room. Like, it really is unbelievable that there are just so many people that don't know that that I have a new radio show, that I have a video show, that I have a podcast. And so getting out to these shows and being able to talk to people, take pictures with people, and to be able to be like, no, you need to check out the podcast is pretty awesome. So are the mocha Oreos gone? Yes, Trina, they're gone. Of course they're friggin' gone. They're delicious. Walter, get the word out. Exactly. So, it's one of those things where, with the algorithms with social media, with people that just either don't have social media or they have it, but they never look at it, or they post on theirs, but they never look at anyone else's, or, they started not listening to the radio because AAF was gone, whatever it is. There are just so many people that are still finding out about everything that we're doing. So, to all of those new people, not only here in the War Room, but the podcast, the radio shows, so happy to have you. Thank you for coming back. It's been really cool to be able to go and see people and take pictures again. And so many people are like, you look like Mistress Carrie. And then they hear me talk and they're like, oh my God, you are. I'm like, well, yeah, I can't do anything else with the voice. It is what it is. I have your stickers on my truck on my bumper, and tell people where to find you when they ask. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. If I had the money to invite you all to Watkins Glen, cute little town, I would love to do that, Betty. Hi and bye. Miss you. Got to go pay those bills. Sending my love to Michelle Thornton's husband, Keith. Absolutely, Keith. Speaking of that, let's get through the rest of the show because I don't want to keep you guys too late tonight. And I still have work to do tonight too. Don't forget that the tank tops, guys, by the end of the month, Labor Day weekend is a month from now. I know you don't want to hear it. So get the tank tops while they last, because there are some sizes that are getting ready to sell out again, and putting in another order for tank tops in the fall and in the winter. Not sure if that's going to happen. So if you want one of the tank tops, get them before they're gone. You can get that. All the other stuff in the store, everything right now is in stock. But as we get into the fall, I am working on some new stuff to try and get things ready for the holidays. So a lot is going to be happening with the store. Speaking of birthdays and anniversaries, if today is your birthday, meaning August 2nd, happy birthday, first of all. You share your birthday with Mojo Nixon. You share your birthday with Garbage member and also super producer Butch Vig. I mean, he produced Nirvana's Nevermind, but he's also a member of Garbage. He was born today, and so is Jolan Turner. So happy birthday to you, and happy unbirthday, Keith. Cheers to you guys. Mark says, summer left faster than my ex. Happy unbirthday, Keith. Let's see. I have mine on, says Tim. Nice. Wes Craven's birthday is today, too. That is pretty badass. Sun's out, guns out, says Melissa. Want to let you know that if you have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, we had a great time getting together this past Sunday night. So if you don't have a Backstage Pass, you can get one. Go to Patreon. Click the Patreon button at mistresscarrie.com. The Backstage Pass holders, we talked a lot about some new things that are going to be coming to the Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass by the end of this year. Definitely have a lot of plans to expand the benefits of the Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, and there are also plans to possibly expand into some other tiers on Patreon as well. But we are going to have another live stream at the end of August. So if you don't have a Backstage Pass yet, you got plenty of time to get one before the get together at the end of the month. You can also submit podcast interview questions. When I book podcast guests, I let the Backstage Pass holders know so they can submit questions. I also, when I travel, take Backstage Pass holders with me. I'm headed to Chicago in the next couple of weeks, so you can expect some travel blog updates with that. You also get early access to event tickets, which hopefully in the next few months, that is going to be coming back. You also get exclusive concert ticket giveaways. And I added a show. If you have a Backstage Pass, you have access to Lamb of God and Killswitch Engage tickets to go see them at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway. Plus, you have access to Alice in Chains and Breaking Benjamin and Bush tickets. You have access to the I Prevail tickets as well. So if you have a Backstage Pass and you want to go to one of these shows, you guys know how you got to do it. Make sure you let me know that you want to go to the shows, and I will do my best to get you tickets. And here in the War Room, sometimes you get access to tickets, sometimes you don't, but the Backstage Pass holders there's usually a ton of tickets up for grabs for them. Just a reminder of all of the places that you can find me on social. That does include on Patreon to get your backstage pass. You can also check out the YouTube channel, which I'm really hoping to grow that in the coming months as well. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, definitely do that. The Cameo is there, and if you need me to make custom Cameo videos for you, I can do that. You can also find me on TikTok at Mistress Carrie, on Twitter at Mistress Carrie, and on Instagram and Facebook at Mistress Carrie WAF. So there you go. That's the show, guys. So don't forget, episode 113 is going to go live at midnight tonight. That is going to feature Mike Mushak and Adam Gontier from St. Asonia. That goes live at midnight. Obviously, another sit rep coming tomorrow as well. Lots going on. We're going to be very busy for the rest of August and into the fall. More shows getting announced. There's already shows getting announced for the winter and into next year. So we're going to be very busy. Elsa says, good night, family. Keith says, hey, just want to say congrats to everyone here. You all made it another week, another day. That rocks. Keep pushing tomorrow and into the next. Absolutely, Keith, for sure. We just got to stick together. It's all we can do. And that's why we get together every Tuesday night right here in the War Room. If you tune in late, if you know someone that doesn't have Facebook, every Cocktails in the War Room episode is also up on my YouTube channel and also up at mistresscarrie.com as well. So the War Room is bigger than just Facebook. And who knows, there might come a time where we live stream on YouTube and Facebook, or I don't know, we've gone back and forth about transitioning over and streaming Cocktails in the War Room on YouTube as opposed to Facebook, which I'm still open to doing that too. But I don't know. We're working on a lot of ideas around here. We're going to be very busy for the rest of the summer into the fall. And I think we're going to be able to make a lot of announcements about some really cool things that are coming in 2023. So, all right, that's tonight's show, guys. Good night. New episode of the podcast coming at midnight tonight. And we made it 195 episodes and going strong. I'll see you guys next week for episode 196. Good night.